Okay. Everyone talks about it, right? That sort of ultimate goal. Passive income. Yeah, making money while you sleep.
It's the dream. And today we're looking at something pretty specific, this idea of hitting $1,000 a day on autopilot.
Exactly. We've got this material from an economic academy, and they lay out these 4 specific blueprints, these side hustles, supposedly designed to get you there.
Yeah, and they don't just talk concepts. They get into the nitty-gritty, the investment needed, the time commitment, and really interestingly, the specific AI tools they recommend to, well, automate things.
So our mission today is pretty clear. We want to break down these 4 models. That's the YouTube channel, starting a blog, selling a physical product online like e-commerce, and running a paid newsletter.
And the goal is for you listening to get a really solid handle on the pros, the cons, the upfront effort required for each one.
Right, so you can figure out which path actually makes sense for you, for your personality, your goals, maybe your current situation.
It's all about strategy, isn't it? Like, are you playing the long game for authority with content, or do you need cash flow sooner with something like e-commerce? That's the choice.
Okay, let's start with the ones that feel maybe more traditional. The content-driven ones focused on writing and building authority. So the blog and the paid newsletter.
Makes sense. Let's tackle the blog first. I mean, it's been around forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, and the source mentions there are, what, over 600 million blogs out there? Which sounds daunting.
It does, but they kind of frame it as proof of concept, Like, it works. But standing out in that massive crowd, well, that's the challenge.
So what are the absolute must-haves according to this material? What makes a blog actually succeed today?
Okay, so number 1, a niche you are genuinely, deeply passionate about. Not just kind of interested, but really into it.
Because you'll need that passion to keep going.
Exactly, because requirement number 2 is relentless consistency. They stress publishing high-quality, valuable content at least once a week.
At least once a week.
Yeah.
And they mean every week. No exceptions.
No exceptions. They're really strict on that. Miss a week, and you lose momentum, you lose trust, you basically signal you're not serious. So yeah, that passive income requires very active discipline up front.
And what about the investment? It's not like e-commerce where you buy inventory, but it's not zero cost either, right?
Right. It's less about huge dollar amounts initially and more about smart tools. The source specifically calls out investing in a good keyword research tool like RFs.
Ah, because you're fighting for Google's attention against those 600 million others.
Precisely. You can't just write what you think people want. You need data. You need to know the exact questions people are typing into Google before you even start writing the answer.
Okay, so niche, consistency, keyword research. Then how does the money actually come in?
Primarily 3 ways. Affiliate marketing, recommending products you genuinely use and trust, direct advertising on your site, and eventually maybe selling your own digital products like courses.
That trust factor is key, you mentioned.
Absolutely critical. The source hammers this point home. If you recommend junk just to make a quick buck, your credibility tanks and the whole authority model just falls apart.
So the big pro is building that long-term authority,
Yeah.
becoming a go-to source, the major con. It's the time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It takes a long time. We're talking months, often, maybe a year or even more, for a new blog to really start ranking well in search results
Yeah.
and generating that truly passive income. It's a slow burn.
Which leads us perfectly into the second content model, the paid newsletter. This one seems designed to kind of shortcut that Google waiting game.
That's exactly the angle. You're essentially bypassing the need for massive search traffic and focusing on a smaller, dedicated audience willing to pay you directly.
So you trade the potential scale of a blog for, what, more immediate, maybe more unstable revenue?
Yeah, recurring revenue. That's the magic word here. Instead of waiting for ad clicks or affiliate sales from thousands of visitors, you're getting, say, $10 a month from a few hundred dedicated subscribers.
The bar must be higher, right, if people are paying directly.
Much higher. The requirements are stricter. First, you need a niche that provides such specific, valuable, or exclusive information that people feel they need it and are willing to open their wallets for it regularly.
Like maybe deep industry analysis or very specialized training, something you can't just Google easily.
Exactly. Think proprietary data, actionable insights they can use immediately. And just like the blog, the source is adamant. You need impeccable quality, and you absolutely cannot miss a publication date.
Even more pressure there, I guess? If someone's paying you monthly, skipping an issue probably leads to instant cancellations.
Right. Churn is the enemy of the subscription model, so reliability is paramount.
Okay, so comparing the two writing-based models, blog versus newsletter. Both need great writing, strong niche focus, and that relentless consistency.
Yep. But the newsletter potentially brings in cash flow sooner because of the direct payment model. You could reinvest that faster. The blog, well, it demands more patience while you wait for SEO to kick in.
But hang on, doesn't the newsletter need you to have some kind of established credibility right from the start if you're asking for money up front?
That's a really good point. It raises the question of where you're starting from.
Yeah, like who's going to pay a newbie $10 a month straight away?
Well, the source suggests the newsletter is maybe ideal if you already have deep expertise from a career, for example. If you've got 15 years in, say, cybersecurity, you can leverage that existing authority immediately.
Ah, so you package your existing professional knowledge.
Right. Whereas the blog model kind of allows you to build that authority more publicly over time, maybe starting from scratch and documenting your learning journey. One's like an exclusive seminar, the other's more like teaching a public course over a semester.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears away from writing towards the potentially higher growth models. Let's talk YouTube.
Right, the video giant. And the source makes a key point here. YouTube isn't just cat videos. It's the second largest search engine in the world.
2 billion monthly users. The numbers are staggering.
Immense potential for growth, definitely. So if you enjoy creating video content, or at least the process behind it, this could be your path.
Still need that passionate niche, though, I assume, and the consistency.
Oh, absolutely. Deep knowledge of your topic. And again, that commitment, at least one high-quality video per week, minimum. No slacking allowed here either.
What about the gear? Do you need a Hollywood studio?
And this is an interesting practical insight from the source. They basically said, don't obsess over having the fanciest camera, especially at the start.
Really? What's more important then?
Audio. Good audio. They were really clear. Viewers might forgive slightly shaky video, but bad, scratchy, hard-to-hear audio, that's an instant turnoff. People will just leave.
So invest in a decent microphone first. That's actionable advice.
Definitely. And then as you grow and start making some money, the path to making it more passive involves outsourcing.
Like hiring an editor.
Exactly. Bring on a video editor, maybe even a script editor. That frees you up to focus purely on the core content, the ideas, the recording. The editing becomes more of a managed cost, less of your direct time.
Okay, pros. Huge growth potential, potentially very engaged audience. Cons, still takes time to build that initial audience. You need some equipment, especially good audio, and it's competitive.
Very competitive. Now that brings us to the fourth pillar. The one the source suggests might actually make money sooner rather than later, although it requires more capital. That's e-commerce.
Selling physical products online.
Right.
I always hear it's faster money, but also way riskier because you have to buy inventory up front. How does this fit the passive income model?
The passive part here comes almost entirely down to automating the logistics. The key, according to the source, is not handling the inventory yourself.
So using services like Amazon FBA.
Exactly, fulfillment by Amazon.
Yeah.
Or using a third-party logistics company, a 3PL. You ship your products in bulk to their warehouse, and they handle everything else.
Everything, like storage, packing, shipping.
And even customer service in many cases. Your job shifts from packing boxes to managing the supply chain, the marketing, and crucially, analyzing the data.
Okay, but the requirements here seem more complex than just creating content. You need an actual product people want to buy.
Yep. And not just the product itself. You need really good, compelling product photography. People buy with their eyes online.
And a website or platform to sell on.
Right. Either your own high-quality website, maybe using Shopify, or a really well-optimized listing on a marketplace like Amazon. Plus, and this is key, you need solid marketing skills.
Because having a great product in a warehouse doesn't help if no one knows it exists.
Precisely. You need to know how to drive traffic, social media marketing, email marketing, maybe paid advertising. If you can't market effectively, that inventory just becomes expensive dust collectors.
So the core difference here is the average order value, the AOV.
That's it. With content, you often make small amounts per person, but you need huge scale. With e-commerce, you might make, say, $30, $50 profit per sale. So you need fewer customers to hit that $1,000 a day goal. It's faster, potentially, but riskier upfront.
Okay, we've got the 4 blueprints. Blog for authority, newsletter for niche recurring revenue, YouTube for growth, e-commerce for faster AOV. Now, the really interesting part, how does technology, specifically AI, change the game here? The source seemed obsessed with tools.
Obsessed is a good word. They really lean into automation and, importantly, de-risking, especially for that e-commerce model, which, as you said, carries the most financial exposure.
Makes sense to focus there. So forget the generic AI writing tools for a sec. What are the specific targeted AI applications the source recommends for people selling on, say, Amazon or Shopify?
Okay, so they get very specific. First, basic but essential. An FBA calculator. Before you even think about ordering inventory, you plug in the cost, manufacturing, shipping, Amazon fees, storage, and instantly see your potential profit margin. No guesswork.
Right, know your numbers before you commit capital. Smart.
Then for optimizing the actual sales page, they mention tools like AI listing. These use AI, presumably trained on customer behavior data, to help write product descriptions, titles, bullet points that are designed to convert better.
Using AI to write more persuasive sales copy, essentially.
Kinda, yeah. And then there are more advanced platforms mentioned, like Seller Sprite and Seller Space.
What do those do?
They're focused on giving you a competitive edge and streamlining operations. Seller Sprite is big on Amazon keyword optimization, finding what search terms customers are using, and deep product research, like spotting opportunities where existing products aren't quite meeting customer needs.
Finding gaps in the market.
Exactly. And Seller Space is more about the operational side, automating things like your Amazon advertising campaigns or managing daily tasks more efficiently. The implication is these aren't just nice to haves, they're becoming necessary to compete effectively.
But the tool that got the most attention, the one that sounded almost like a secret weapon, was this VOC AI.
Ah, yes, VOC AI. That was highlighted quite heavily.
What does VOC stand for? Voice of.
Voice of customer. And yeah, the source positions this as a pretty sophisticated AI solution. It uses advanced sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis, like understanding emotions in text.
Precisely. Its core purpose is to revolutionize product research. Instead of you guessing or just looking at bestseller lists, this AI digs through vast amounts of customer feedback reviews, social media comments, forum posts.
And what's it looking for?
It's looking for frustration, pain points, unmet needs. It analyzes the sentiment to find products that people almost like but have consistent complaints about. Maybe the battery life is bad, or the material feels cheap, or a feature is missing.
So it's not just finding popular products, it's finding popular products with problems.
Exactly. Problems that represent a market opportunity. If thousands of people are complaining online about the same flaw in an existing product, that's like a flashing sign telling you what kind of improved version to create.
Wow, okay. So you design your product specifically to fix the known issues people are already complaining about.
That's the idea. It helps you define a winning product based on actual expressed customer desire rather than just your hunch. The source even mentions specific reports generated by this tech, like for portable power stations or pet feeders, showing its market-specific analysis.
That sounds incredibly powerful for reducing that big upfront risk of buying inventory that nobody wants. You're basically validating demand before you spend the money.
It completely shifts the strategy, doesn't it? The main investment in e-commerce might not just be the stock itself, but the investment in these kinds of AI tools, like VOC AI, that significantly de-risk the whole venture. It's presented as a serious alternative to more generic tools, aimed squarely at finding guaranteed market fit.
Okay, let's bring it all together for the listener. We've walked through these 4 paths towards that $1,000 a day passive income goal. The strategic choice seems to boil down to:
If you like video, maybe lean towards YouTube for its growth potential. If you're a writer and patient, the blog builds long-term authority.
right, if you want money potentially sooner and can handle the complexity and initial investment, e-commerce, but definitely leverage AI to minimize risk.
And if you have that deep, specialized knowledge you can package up, the paid newsletter offers that direct, recurring revenue stream.
And let's not forget the time versus money trade-off the source mentioned.
Crucial point, e-commerce generally needs more capital upfront, but can generate revenue faster. Blogging and YouTube, much lower capital needed, but you're paying with your time, often over a much longer period before seeing significant returns.
And all of them, even with AI and automation, demand that one core thing.
Consistency. Yeah, that came through loud and clear from the Economic Academy material. You cannot afford to be sporadic. Whether it's publishing content or managing your e-commerce operations, you have to show up consistently. The passive part only kicks in after a lot of active, consistent effort builds the foundation.
Which leads us nicely to that final thought, maybe something provocative for people to consider.
Right. So given how much this source emphasizes these highly specialized AI tools, especially something like VOC AI for basically predicting what will sell, it makes you wonder.
Wonder what?
Well, what if the most critical factor for success in generating passive income today isn't actually choosing between blogging or YouTube or e-commerce at the start?
Okay, so what is it then?
What if it's mastering the ability to use these AI tools to effectively guarantee market fit, whether that's product market fit for e-commerce or content market fit for a blog or channel before you even invest significant time or money?
So the skill isn't picking the hustle, it's using AI to eliminate the risk of failure before you even begin.
Maybe. Perhaps real success in this landscape is less about choosing the right path initially and more about becoming expert at using technology to make sure whichever path you choose isn't the wrong one from day one.
Hmm.
Something to think about.